Hi, I'm Thorb Bishop, and welcome to Top Secret Inc. Today, we'll be walking through Paper Girls, Vol.1, issue number 5 by Image Comics. So get comfortable, because it's going to be one hell of a ride. Issue 5's got to be the craziest out of all of them in this trade paperback. We start off with a first-person view of Erin from inside the time capsule. It looks like they've landed in some kind of inventory warehouse with a huge power generator that's got this massive apple symbol on it. Then the two Mum-Rah guys pop their heads into the capsule, and for the first time they introduce themselves with their real names. Erin is strapped down into this organic-looking capsule, and she notices all these weird bugs hovering over her gunshot wound. But guess what? They're not hurting her. They're actually healing her stomach. She finds out that they're not even on Earth anymore. They're up in space, and they're on the run. After talking to these two guys, she learns that they're like futuristic Robin Hoods, borrowing items from the past and redistributing the wealth in the future. And they're being hunted by a group of people called the Elders. At this very moment, the Elders find their location in space. One of the Mum-Rahs quickly reprograms the computers to get them out of there as fast as possible. They do manage to escape, and at this time, the capsule phases back to the basement of the abandoned house. Back on Earth, we cut to the remaining three girls, Mac, KJ, and Tiffany, racing back to the abandoned house. Suddenly, a giant murder bird appears, ridden by a woman in a bright, shiny, chrome armor suit with a big chrome staff. She looks like a character right out of that movie Heavy Metal. And her face looks almost like Gina Carano. So we're going to call her Gina from now on. So Gina gets off the bird and starts walking towards the girls, trying to explain the situation and telling them to calm down. The girls, of course, aren't having it again, so Tiffany pulls out the gun and points it right at her. Gina, at this point, takes her staff and puts it on the ground. And Mackenzie goes to pick it up, and it accidentally goes off. The ray beam hits the ground, causing a huge explosion that sends Gina flying into a tree, knocking her out cold. The murder bird decides to get the hell out of there before it becomes the next victim. Shortly after, Gina wakes up and calls Jerry Garcia to let him know that the girls got away. Now we end up back in another scene, another disturbing dream from Erin. Here she's a little kid, maybe about 3 or 4 years old, and she walks into the living room to find her dad with his hands in his face crying. She asks him, "Dad, like, what's wrong?" And he says, "I'm always scared. We're always terrified." When then he removes his hands from his face, and we see that he has no skin on his face and blood is everywhere. And that's when Erin wakes up. Back in the capsule with the bug still healing her stomach, the two Mum-Rah guys have somehow been partially merged with the organic spaceship. Their emergency time travel flight had some kind of programming error, and they got stuck inside the machine as it phased back into the house. Now they're slowly dying. But they do tell Erin how much respect they have for her and her friends, saying that they remind them of younger versions of themselves. Then, both Mum-Rahs die and start to get absorbed into the time machine. Erin starts to completely freak out, trapped into the ship with two corpses. Then the straps come loose from the chair. She jumps out of the chair and starts banging on the door. Luckily, it opens up, and all the four girls are back together again in the basement. From outside the house, they hear a man's voice. Guess what? It's Jerry Garcia, with Gina, of course, and one of those murder birds. Jerry gives this elaborate speech explaining that the Mum-Rahs are just juvenile delinquents messing up time by stealing artifacts. He says that the Elders are trying to fix the timeline, and the girls need to calm down and come outside so that they can have their memories wiped. Of course, the girls don't buy this bullshit. Suddenly, lights start flashing inside the house, and the entire house disappears in a flash of light, leaving a massive hole in the ground. In the next scene, the girls are falling out of the sky and land on a concrete floor in the middle of the road. But wait, there's only 3 of them. We got Mac, Erin, and Tiffany, and no spaceship. They land in the middle of the road and a car stops in front of them. A woman gets out, and one of the girls trying to explain what's happening, only to find out that the older woman is actually Erin from the future.